The stakes have never been higher. It's the final stop before the championship. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, Phoenix International Raceway. It's race 6 of the chase.
And guys, I don't think we've ever had a more important race in the history of this series than this one right here at Phoenix. Take a look at our chase grid. Johnny Sauter already locked in, but we have 4 drivers that are only separated by 6 points, racing for 3 spots. Ben Kennedy a little bit down farther behind that.
And how important is this race at this particular track field? Things can go wrong in a hurry. This is just 5 or 6 laps into our race last fall. Big crash on the back straightaway, including some of our leaders. And this is a sprint to the checkered. First and second, Matt Kraft and Eric Jones into the outside wall. They take Johnny Sauter with them. Action will happen early and will happen often here in Phoenix. It's a treacherous place to race when you try to go 2 and 3 wide.
Take a look at our onboard cameras for tonight.
Here we're going to ride along with Austin Cindric. That's the PureTech Ford. That's the Ford onboard. Austin making his 2nd start here at Phoenix, starting from the 21st spot.
Hop on with Ben Kennedy from Daytona Beach Ford. He's going to row from 18th position in the Jacob Company Chevy. He's racing for his playoff life tonight.
Same thing for Timothy Peters here, the Red Horse Racing Toyota. Timothy, our winner last year, will start 8th in the Toyota onboard.
Let's go up to the front row and see what it looks like. That's William Byron. He started on the front row at Loudon and won. He's starting there again tonight in the Liberty University Toyota.
For 22 years, every year of the series' existence, the trucks have raced here at Phoenix, and they're about to go green. William Byron, the pole winner, on the inside. His teammate Daniel Suarez on the outside.
Suarez hanging tough on the outside. William Byron really, caution flag already. Myatt Snyder, the 22 truck, is around making his Truck Series debut.
What a heartbreaker for Myatt Snyder.
That's not a heartbreaker, it's just a disappointment, man. It's heartbreaker to be torn to pieces. Looks like he's going to drive away and be able to regroup and go at it again.
Check in with our pit reporters, beginning with Caitlin.
Well, looking at Matt Kraft, and one of the veterans in the field, he's made 15 starts here at Phoenix, but is still winless. His crew chief, Junior Joyner, telling me it's a very special place, though, for both of them, because this is the place they started their driver-crew chief combination back in 2000 in the Southwest Tour. He said a win here tonight would mean everything, because it is where it all started for us, and it would also move them on to that final round in Homestead. He starts 10th for tonight's race. Hermie?
Well, Caitlin, Christopher Bell, just like his teammate William Byron, is trying to become the 2nd consecutive rookie out of the KBM stables to win the championship as well as Rookie of the Year. Now, Christopher Bell has been so solid in the chase. Things were going well until the waning moments of the race last weekend at Texas, when late race contact with Cameron Haley relegated him to a finish outside the top 10. Now he's only 4 points to the good, coming to a racetrack he has never raced on before in the Camping World Truck Series. His crew chief, Jerry Baxter, has been very patient with him today. They worked on this truck as he got up to speed, qualified 5th, but they know tonight they have to execute to go to Homestead and race for a championship.
Good look at Jerry Baxter and Myatt Snyder, the reason that we are under caution. And here's why. Here's what happened. Look at the 22 there heading to turn 1.
Yeah, Austin Cindric tried to jump to the inside to make it 3 wide.
Did I tell you when we try to go 3 wide, it gets treacherous here?
Well, it didn't happen till the first turn, Michael.
Check this run that Cindric gets on the inside and just charges that first corner. Wow, how lucky was Snyder he didn't hit that inside wall.
Yeah, but you got to realize there that it's lap 1. There's not that much room. That inside wall there really juts out on the racetrack.
That's a set of tires they'll burn there on the 22 truck. So a bit of an aggressive move here from a couple of youngsters racing into turn 1. Really nothing Snyder did wrong. He just was taking the corner and Cindric got into the side of him.
Yeah, I think that's okay, because these guys all have 3 sets of tires in the pits. Most of them feel like they won't. 2 sets will be the most they will get on if things go well. So that just knocks Myatt down to 2 sets of tires in the pits.
Well, the good news is Snyder did not make wall contact, so no damage done there. And look at Austin Cindric that just got into that left rear of Myatt Snyder and spun him around. Look at our Ford facts on board with Austin.
Some wins there by some Fords at this track.
Joe Rutman, the oldest winner ever here at Phoenix in the Truck Series.
Greg Biffle stormed onto the scene after a recommendation from your brother Benny to Jack Rouse. Hire this guy, he's a talented racer. Well, the rest is history.
Austin Cindric named as one of the Brad Keselowski Racing drivers for next year on a full-time basis.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick announced this year that he would not be back with Brad Keselowski in the truck series. Not sure what his plans are, but we know Austin will be in that truck full-time.
So it'll be 2 new drivers for BKR because Daniel Hemrick also moving on to the Xfinity Series.
One thing we have to note now, William Byron was ahead when the caution flag came out. That means that William Byron got that bonus point for leading, guys.
Getting ready for the restart after the first lap caution.
Were you surprised how hard those teammates hit
Yes,
each
I
other
was.
right off the bat? Let's see what happens this time. That's a tough place to be on the bottom of the racetrack like Byron is with a truck on the outside of you. Your truck wants to get loose down there.
Back green at Phoenix.
Boy, Williams not going to take any chances. He zinged her down in that corner.
Wow, what a great start by William Byron. He needs to get back to the start-finish line and establish himself as the leader of this race.
It's Cameron Haley going down low, trying to challenge Christopher Bell.
Remember, those guys had issues last week. The last lap of the race, they made contact. They were very unhappy with each other after the race, or I should say Christopher Bell was unhappy with Cameron Haley.
Whoa, and Bell blocks. Haley had a bit of a runoff. Bell shot to the middle of the racetrack, took that spot away. Haley's got a really fast Toyota, Phil. That truck was good in practice, so look for him to move forward.
That's the battle for 5th, and then right behind Haley is John Hunter Nemechek. Back through the field, now riding on board with the 17 of Timothy Peters in 10th.
Look at Timothy Peters using the apron of the racetrack to help that truck turn. All 4 tires down below the yellow line in turn 3 and 4.
And guys, as you ride along with these trucks, we're talking speeds in excess of 150 miles an hour into the corners. That's getting it done.
With John Hunter Nemechek way up out of the groove there in that green 8 machine.
Bit of an issue. Looked like maybe he had to chase that truck uphill. Maybe got a little bit loose down there getting in the corner. Had to use some more racetrack. Lost a little bit of ground.
Looks like Peters has the measure on the 41 truck.
Johnny Sauter making the pass on Rico Abreu for 3rd.
Christopher Bell, that 4 truck closing in on Rico. Now, what a great qualifying effort for Rico Abreu. Career best of 3rd. And it seems like just about 15 minutes ago.
I talked about the battles all throughout the field. Ben Kennedy trying to move forward. He's on the inside of Matt Tiff. Tiff gets the better of him on the outside of turn 4. Looks like Tiff is loose. You saw the truck wiggling there. Another great battle. Timothy Peters trying to take the spot away from Ben Rhodes.
Timothy Peters on the move. This is for 9th. He's got it.
I was a little bit worried about this truck in practice, but just as we saw them salvage a top 5 at Martinsville, looks like Shane Huffman has him tuned up here. He's going forward.
Ben Kennedy in the chase, but 13 points back coming into this race. Knows he needs to win this race. Didn't qualify well, and now he's trying to get Matt Tiff. That's all the way back for 16th.
Tiff didn't give him a lot of room, and Kennedy leaned on Tiff a bit. Doesn't take much to send these trucks spinning here, as we saw on the first lap.
Kaz Grala in that white truck, the 24, getting on the inside of Daniel Hemrick.
Kaz doing a nice job. He made the final round, the 3rd round of qualifying. See the 18 of Noah Gregson right behind, making his Truck Series debut. Announced full-time for KBM next year. Going to get a couple test sessions in here the next 2 weeks.
Boy, and that was impressive what Grala did. Phil, you know that. It's really tough to complete a pass on the bottom. Your truck really wants to hang out. You don't have any air to lean against. The other truck, the truck on the outside, takes that air away. Makes it hard for these kids to pass, and they're learning on the fly. 150 miles an hour, making moves they've never made before.
Early stages at Phoenix. William Byron is the leader. The Chasers all battling for an opportunity to go to Homestead next week to win that, the championship trophy. Under caution for the 2nd time tonight here at Phoenix. Last week, Spencer Gallagher won the pole and led a career high 88 laps. Tonight, he's in the wall right out of the gate. This is what happened.
Watching along from Austin Cindric's truck. You see, watch this little wiggle. It looks like that left rear tire was down to me, Michael.
Yeah, it maybe was a rub. Maybe someone got into him racing side to side, and it just had a leak, and it finally blew out in a roundy win. And man, I talked about the 150-mile-an-hour speeds. When something goes wrong like that, there's nothing the driver can do.
Definitely a tough break for Spencer Gallagher. Let's listen to the radio communication talking about maybe that tire going down.
No warning, no anything. We had to have run something over. Maybe had a puncture, I don't know. I was a little loose in, loose off, but not like that. Went in and swapped ends, never had a chance. Stand 4, buddy. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
That was a big hit from Gallagher and a lot of damage to that truck. Done for the night, obviously, but glad that Spencer is okay. Let's check in downstairs with Hermie on a couple of chasers. Hermie?
Vince, number 4 of Christopher Bell, reported to his crew chief that he is a little bit free on a scale of 1 to 10, about a 1 to a 1.5 loose on entry and a little bit loose on exit as well, but they will not pit, obviously stand out with the leaders. The 17 of Timothy Peters, the opposite end of the spectrum, a little bit on the snug side, although he did say he felt like his truck was getting better. This team trying to recover from a speeding penalty last week at Texas that relegated them to a 14th place finish. So right now, barely on the outside looking in is the 17.
Yeah, both Peters and Christopher Bell got finishes last week that they felt like really they were a lot better than. You heard me mention the speeding penalty. Of course, Bell got into the incident with Cameron Haley. So both of those guys thought they had better finishes than what they ended up with, and those points could be the difference maker in whether or not they get to run for a championship next week. One week from tonight, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Chase for the Cup heads to Homestead. Catch all the action 7:30 Eastern on FS1. You can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Who will be the 4 drivers competing for the championship? We know that Johnny Saunders is going to be one.
I know one of them. Pretty sure about that.
And I'm not going to go any further than that right now.
All I got right there.
You got to give a nod to William Byron. A few points in the bank and leading this race. Already got a bonus point tonight, but man, this is way too early to be able to predict who might be the other 3.
One of those contenders is Matt Crafton. Caitlin?
Yeah, Vince, well, he entered tonight's race 4th in the standings, and I asked him about the pressure on his shoulders for tonight's event. He said he hasn't experienced any stress. He cites his experience winning championships in this series and other series as to why he's very good at managing the pressure of this format. But so far, Matt Crafton currently shown P7 on the leaderboard, telling his team he's just tight center off and a little bit free on entry. Hermie?
Caitlin, one chaser on my end of pit road. Ben Kennedy did come down pit road a couple laps ago. His truck was really loose, especially in traffic. So they brought the 33 down pit road, 2 right side tires, a little bit of wedge and some air pressure to try to get this 33 a little more lateral grip underneath Ben Kennedy to try to see if he can make his way towards the front.
And Vince, I like that. We got to switch things up. We know we're in a bind. Ben Kennedy, certainly 34 points out right now, but he can't just do the same strategy that Byron and Christopher Bell and Crafton do. He's got to mix it up, change things up, and hopefully he can catch the right caution at the right time.
We talk about those 4 drivers that were only separated by 6 points coming in here. You can see right now, Timothy Peters only 3 points out. Matt Crafton 3 points to the good. If any one of those 4 drivers, and that includes William Byron, has trouble here, then that brings everybody else into play. You know Ben Kennedy's going to improve. Right now, he's being shown in the 27th position because he pitted. He's going to be better than that. If somebody has trouble, it's going to be a long night.
Well, and trouble is a possibility because of the close quarters racing here at Phoenix. We've already seen a couple of drivers go around here in the first 20 laps, including the 23 of Spencer Gallagher.
And I cannot begin to tell you how hard a hit that was for Spencer Gallagher. He's maximum speed getting in that corner. We talk about it, probably upwards of 150 miles an hour, and that thing just slid right out of the groove into the outside wall.
He did a nice job catching it there once, and that lessened the impact somewhat. But you're right, Phil. Really, really hard contact. Glad Spencer was able to get out of the truck on his own.
Well, what a difference a week makes. Spencer Gallagher last week on the pole leads 88 laps tonight, first one out.
It's a fickle business here.
The cleanup is complete. Daniel Hemrick has gone back to pit road. You see a couple of major adjustments to the chassis there. Gallagher, by the way, has been released from the care center. That's good news.
I like these teams mixing up. They know they don't have the trucks to win with right now. Let's get off sequence. Let's work on our truck early and try to make something happen late.
Seems a little wet. Yeah, I've got the NASCAR official with me right here. You know what I mean? I keep looking at him like, you know, they need to do better than that, but they're ready, I guess. Yeah, okay. Crafton's ready to hell about it, so tell Chris to check it out when he comes around here.
The pace car is off. William Byron and Daniel Suarez just the way they started the race on the front row. Back racing at Phoenix.
I think they may have been talking about all the debris and maybe some fluid left from the Spencer Gallagher truck down there in the corner, but it looks like everyone's been able to get through there just fine.
Suarez on the outside. A real challenge to Byron on this restart.
William drives it hard down at turn number 3, and it sticks, and he's able to clear. Oh, trouble again.
Cindric and the 18 of Gregson.
Two drivers that will be running full-time next year in the Truck Series.
You know, that has every look of what we talked about earlier, Phil. A truck getting loose on the inside. A couple of guys with not a lot of experience. Gregson making his first start here in the Truck Series. They were running back in the 14th, 15th position when the contact or the spin happened. Be interesting to see if they did indeed get loose on the bottom of the track.
It looked as though the trucks had significant damage.
See, Matt Tifft on the bottom. Looked like Gregson got a little bit loose. He was the truck in the middle, the 18 truck. He jumped up into the outside, into the 2 of Austin Cindric.
When you're down on the bottom and someone hits you, it will make you looser. And that, you know, the air just moves these trucks around, and Cindric slid up into the 18.
And they were both vulnerable because they had Matt Tifft to the 11 truck on the inside.
Are you surprised all the aggressive moves we've seen here early in this race?
22 laps into the race.
Make the chasers a little bit nervous? I mean, considering how hard the racing is going, because, you know, they don't want to get caught up in one.
It's making me nervous, Vince, so I assume it's probably making them nervous.
So Gregson's going to come to pit lane, and Cindric is as well, as the teams will survey those machines.
We're talking about our caution clock being somewhere around 43, 44 laps. And Hermie, what's going on with that 2 truck?
Well, Phil, they got right side tires on, putting left side tires on. It does not look like a lot of damage, maybe a little bit to the right front fender. That could be an aerodynamic situation, but 4 tires in fuel, and they put some wedge in this truck and try to tighten him up a little bit. He's been firing off a little bit too free, and so far we have not had enough green flag racing for this truck to come to him. Pretty much similar situation for the 18. Noah Gregson, first ever Camping World Truck Series start. Came down pit road in the middle of a 3-wide situation, but they came in, not a lot of damage, a little bit of damage really to the back bumper area of the 18, but nowhere else. So they got him down and away, and he can continue to learn about this truck and this track.
Well, both of those guys, I mean, they could have been a lot worse.
Watch, you see Matt Tifft, the 11 truck. Now he gives them room, and the 18 of Gregson is trying to stay with them, gets a little bit loose in the middle there. Austin Cindric does a nice job, almost saves that truck, but does not make any contact. You see slight contact for the 18 of Gregson into the outside safer barrier.
Cindric, 18 years old. Gregson, 18 years old.
Well, and I think of all the drivers that have had contact into the wall or troubles, Vince, the average age of them is 20. So it's kids learning their trade here. And you can see in the middle.
Hold the brake. Stay in it. Hold the brake. Hold the brake. All right, get it rolling.
This is action-packed. If you're watching home, this is how the truckers race. We go 3 wide. We get into each other. It's just always this much fun.
And our races aren't that long, so we got to get it done quick.
Getting ready for the restart. The front row has remained consistent with William Byron and Daniel Suarez. Suarez gave Byron quite a challenge on that last restart. Let's see how they fire off this time. Byron on the inside, Suarez outside.
This is about all the restarts this young William Byron wants to see early in the going. Just not quite able to clear Suarez as they go down to the corner, and that means he's going to have him on the outside as they get to 3.
What a great run off the corner by Suarez. He actually clears, and we have yet another caution flag. Tommy Joe Martins is around. He's made some contact with somebody.
Roll to the bottom if you can. Roll down.
Or a heavy hit.
Right behind the door on that 44 truck. Take another look at it. You see he's going to be on the outside of a 3-wide situation. Almost a carbon copy of the first incident with Austin Cindric and Myatt Snyder. Truck made it 3 wide getting down in turn number 1, and unfortunately Tommy Joe Martins pays the price.
I think that was the 66 of Austin Wayne Self.
Yeah, you're going to see it right here, Vince. Look, the 66 makes a dive into that first turn. There was nowhere for him to go.
Low as you can. Keep going. Still
Dominique Van Wergen in that 0-2.
Well, really nothing she could do about it as well. She had Tommy Jo Martins on her outside.
So yellow again for the 4th time tonight, and we're just 26 laps into this.
Yeah, Daniel Suarez was our leader when the caution flag was displayed, so Williams had a great opportunity maybe to lead the most laps and get another bonus point, but now he's going to have to battle Suarez, but he will have a shot at him on this restart.
But you got to remember, Phil, this kid is racing for a chance to be in the championship round next week in Miami. I don't like him being hung down on the inside of Daniel Suarez. That's tough treading there. And also another thing I didn't like, the caution comes out and the field is frozen. These two guys right now, you can see the lights are on and they just keep racing. And that's just a couple of kids making a mistake. You got to back it down. The cake's baked. Their position is decided when the caution comes out, and they're just steaming back to the start-finish line, and that's not cool.
Yeah, they ran a full half lap with a caution flag out there, and they know, and they're told in every rookie meeting and every driver's meeting that we don't race back to the caution like we used to back in the day, that the field is frozen.
Well, if you ever had any thought about there being team orders at Kyle Busch Motorsports, I think that's out the window.
Well,
isn't it? We've seen the way Daniel Suarez has raced William Byron here in the early going.
I think there are definite team orders, and that's race as hard as you can. That's the only team orders I think they have. Yes.
Well, Kyle Busch Motorsports has won this race here at Phoenix 4 of the last 5 years, and they're going to put the stake in the ground again tonight.
They've got 3 of the top 4 spots right now. Christopher Bell holds down the 4th spot. Johnny Sauter the 3rd spot.
Yeah, and Sauter's been great all day, really confident in that truck, and he's spoiling that Kyle Busch Motorsports parade. And if I'm the spotter and Rudy Fugle, the crew chief on that 9 truck, I'm going to say we're okay. Let's if that's the way he wants to race, let's let him have it for now, pace ourselves, and get him when it counts later. Can't make a mistake, Phil, or your chance to win the championship is gone.
Hey, this week, start your Sunday with Fox NFL Kickoff and America's #1 pregame show. Then it's the Falcons battling the Eagles, followed by Dak Prescott and the Cowboys against Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers in America's Game of the Week. Some other regional action for you as well, depending on where you happen to be watching. Coverage begins Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern on Fox.
How impressive has Prescott been this year? Wow.
The Steelers
He
have
never
Ben
throws an interception, does he?
back from injury.
What has he thrown? 1 interception this year, something like that?
The luxury it's been for Dallas to allow Tony Romo time to heal. And the big question is, what's going to happen when he comes back, when he is healed?
Is there a quarterback controversy, or do we think we're going to keep Dak in there?
Does Tom Brady come to mind? Does anybody remember that, how he got started?
I don't think there's any controversy as long as the Cowboys are winning, right?
Yeah.
We're going to line up and try this one more time.
You know, had a lot of restarts so far.
This is the latest this race has ever gone off, and I think those guys are tired of waiting. They wanted that green flag in the air a couple hours ago.
Daniel Hemrick, we've seen him come to pit road a couple of times, Hermie.
Vince, they put 4 tires on this truck, some fuel, got him ready to go now. They've already are discussing what their strategy may be when everybody else comes to pit road. They feel like with the caution clock, they'll be able to stay out when the others pit. Caution clock will take them around a lap 100 or so they're maybe looking forward to a strategy maybe to gain some track position about halfway point of this race.
What do you think, Gracie? Bottom or top? I mean, you've been pretty good up there, but I would just try the bottom. At least we'll know for later on, but I believe you'll be fine.
I like that, Bill. That way he can have a way to compare how he matched up against the truck on the inside, and now he is the truck on the inside. And remember, Vince, they handle much differently down on the bottom. You really have to be careful down there or you'll get loose.
And you remember, he's the control truck, so he has the advantage. He's the guy that sets the tone on this restart. Before he was having to react to what William Byron did.
They added one more lap of caution just to want to make sure and get the truck off the track after cleaning up.
Well, that kind of tells the story so far, doesn't it? We've crashed early. We talked in the opening. They crashed early last year, and the crashing didn't even end until the very last part of the race when the leaders took each other out.
So 4 cautions. We've had a rash of them here to get things started. We'll see if we go racing for a while once we get this restart completed.
We haven't had to think much about our caution clock here so far.
Look at those guys working those tires in. That's William Byron on the outside of the front row. You have to keep heat in those tires, and you also want to try to scrub off any of the excess marbles or grit that's on the road that might get on those tires so you can make it through turn one.
They are teammates, but they have raced hard here on these restarts. Suarez, the control truck, the leader, has chosen the inside. Let's see how it plays off.
Suarez chose to go later in the restart box. He has 70, 80 feet there to make that decision. He went later and got a good jump on William. But Williams strong off turn two.
Wow, William Byron right on the back bumper of Suarez.
William was all over the tailgate of that Eris truck. Johnny Sauter actually pulled even with William over in 1 and 2, and William just got on the button and off the corner he went.
William Byron broke the track record in all 3 rounds of qualifying earlier this evening.
Watch Timothy Peters try to make the pass on John Hunter Nemechek. That is a battle for the 8th spot. I think that's really a good sign for Timothy Peters to be able to race up there with one of the trucks that we felt like might be one of the favorites tonight.
Just ahead of Peters and Nemechek is that bright yellow 88 of Matt Crafton.
And he's watching Rico Abreu down on the inside of Cameron Haley.
3 Thor Sport teammates right there, Haley, Abreu, and Crafton.
And just remember, like we talked, it's really hard to hold that low line. You can see Rico losing his truck and opening the door for Matt Crafton.
In the middle.
Abreu has to get out of it, and Crafton takes the spot.
Look at Crafton. He's got that truck working well on the bottom of the racetrack.
Rico's going to fall in behind Crafton. Again, 3 Thor Sport trucks in front of that 8 of John Hunter Nemechek. Timothy Peters, the red and white 17 truck, following Nemechek.
You see the chase standings as they run. This is the final race of round 2. Only 4 drivers will be eligible for the championship when we go to Homestead next week. We know one of them is going to be Johnny Sauter, but how about the other 3? Who's it going to be?
I'll tell you what, Vince, if you're one of those top 4 trucks other than Johnny Sauter, you make one mistake and it just means you're out. That means if someone else doesn't have a problem, you're in trouble.
On board with Timothy Peters in the 9th spot, taking a look at John Hunter Nemechek and Rico Abreu just in front of him.
Nice move by John Hunter Nemechek to grab that spot. See if Timothy Peters can do the same thing. All 4 tires down below the yellow line for Timothy Peters.
And you can see that truck got loose on exit. When you hang those tires off the road, that's what the truck has a tendency to do. Helps it turn, but it also keeps it a little bit free on exit.
Peters grabs the 8th position from Abreu.
He's still below the cut line as Ben Kennedy's going to try to rebound from an early pit stop. Ben right now up to the 16th spot. Give him 15th now, getting by Dylan Lupton in the 05 truck.
Saw Hemrick on pit road making adjustments. He's trying to get that spot away from Lupton now.
Yeah, Hemrick came to pit road on lap number 20. Ben Kennedy on lap number 14.
And Phil, I'm beginning to catch my breath now. That started this race with all the crashes and action and the intense battle for that lead. Wow, that was a lot of racing. We're just getting started tonight.
Well, we've run 7 green flag laps in a row here.
4 early yellows and now 4 early cautions, and now finally sorting itself out a little bit. But we have seen great racing all over the track, including this battle right here between Daniel Hemrick and Dylan Lupton. Lupton in that 05 this week for John West Townley, who's still out with that ankle injury. Daniel Suarez leads his teammate at Phoenix. The battle for the lead at Phoenix. Daniel Suarez in front, being chased by his Kyle Busch Motorsports teammate, William Byron. Byron led the first 26 laps. Suarez has led the last 19. Byron underneath the lap traffic of Mills. Did that make you nervous, Phil? I saw you were tensing up.
I was grabbing Michael here, worried about William having enough room.
Yeah, don't do that anymore. the battle for the lead is just amazing, but look who's coming up from behind. Johnny Sauter sees these two trying to sort it out. Byron's faster right now, but can't get around Suarez, and Sauter is going to be there.
It's just going to be a matter of time because that truck is turning so well for William Byron. It's just, I'm telling you, within a lap or two, maybe right now, he makes the pass to take the lead back.
Byron Byron on the inside of Suarez.
And I'm telling you, it's a hard job to do. Holding that truck down, keeping it from sliding up.
Remember how hard he is able to drive it in turn 3 like he did early in the race, and he's got it back. Oh,
To
wow.
the front, William Byron back in the lead. Suarez has been so close here in the Truck Series. 4 times a runner-up. Has not been to victory lane as the winner. He's won in the Xfinity Series, but not in the Truck Series.
And he's opened up, William Byron's opened up about 3 truck length lead over Suarez, but Johnny Sauter is right there in 3rd.
Wow. Donahue in that 71 truck went to the high side, and William thought he was going to go low. And you can see these trucks are trying to deal with the lapper. Donahue's up to the 22nd spot, so he's running decent, but the leaders didn't know which way he was going.
Kevin Donahue, the 22-year-old out of Chesterfield, Missouri. 1 start this season.
Well, a lot of talk in the garage, or was it this 21 truck was one of the best trucks here, and he's certainly showing it right now.
You know,
look, same situation. I think he's just a matter of time before he drives by that 51.
You know, Phil, it looks just like when William caught Daniel. He's able to just keep that truck to the left, keep the nose over there in that fresh air better than the 51, and that's how he's making time on him. But Williams driven away from these two, so it shows you how much Suarez was holding those guys up.
Well, KBM running 1, 2, and 4. 4th place is the 4 truck of Christopher Bell. Hermie?
Vince, the 4 is loose on entry into turn 1, then tight center out. To try to help the entry, he's doing about the only thing he can from inside the truck other than changing his line. He's put a round and a half of brake bias towards the front of that truck to try to help him get to entry, but they're looking forward to getting to pit road to try to improve the balance for the 4, Christopher Bell.
I'm like a little bit loose on entry to 1, and it's making me tight center of 1. Now to the front, hold the brakes, 1 round to the front. Next one's on my round to front. I've already gone a round and a half on front brake. That's okay, Bill. We got plenty of room to move it. That's okay.
And what that's going to allow him to do, Phil, is to turn the truck more aggressively in the center. If it's loose getting in, then he can't turn it, and that's what the team's working on.
Yeah, Christopher said it was making him tight in the center. That's because he's too loose to really turn that steering wheel, like Michael said. But you heard Jerry Baxter say we have plenty more room. Go ahead and move that knob a little bit more to the front. More front brake will help that situation.
Johnny hasn't been able to do anything with Daniel Suarez. He ran him down in a hurry, but hung behind Suarez.
Boy, and once William Byron got past Suarez, he has checked out. Almost a 3-second advantage. As you watch the battle for second, they're all chasing William Byron.
Yeah, you saw Sauter get a good run off the corner. You saw his brake rotors glowing as he got down at turn number 3, but got a great run off the corner. Let's see if he can finish this pass off. Not going to happen yet. Let's see if he can beat him in turn 3.
Suarez not giving up on the outside, right back to him.
Look at that momentum Daniel carried off turn 2 down the long back straightaway. Sauter still persistently trying on the bottom.
Still not able to clear Suarez, and look at the momentum from the high side up off of turn number 4.
The challenge continues. Sauter on the inside. Suarez in that orange 51, not giving up second place. Caution clock under 10 minutes. Fast and furious at Phoenix. Nothing has changed at the front. William Byron continues to stretch it out. Almost a 4-second lead now for the 9 truck of Byron as the caution clock gets under 5.5 minutes remaining.
Johnny Sauter was able to make the pass on Suarez to take over the second spot and opened up a couple seconds on Suarez, but Christopher, well, we got a smoke caution flag is out. Jordan Anderson, the 74 truck, looks like he may have an engine issue of some sort.
Yeah, he came down the front straightaway, Phil, and you could hear it being.
Check all the wires. All the plug wires are in it.
It was down a couple of cylinders, and when it smokes and it's down a cylinder, I don't think that has much to do with a plug wire.
Hey, just take it to the garage.
Yeah, it said take it to the garage.
The 05 of Dylan Lupton will get the free pass with this caution.
We're going to see all our lead lap trucks on pit road here.
Creeping close to the halfway mark.
This is just about the right time for these guys. Talking to the crew chiefs, they said they'd love to be able to pit somewhere around lap 50 or so, then again around lap 100. We're just outside that 50 lap window at 64, so be around 65, 66 laps when pit road's open.
Well, the rest of those guys are glad to see the caution, because now that brings William Byron back to them. That was about the only way they were going to catch up with the way Byron has gotten going here once he finally passed Suarez.
Give me an adjustment, please. There's a 9 truck I can't keep contact with.
And let's don't make any mistakes on pit road. Let's don't speed. Let's don't jump over the wall too soon.
Well, remember William Byron, he made his Camping World Truck Series debut here last year, but it didn't last long. Got caught up in an early accident.
This one's gone better.
It has gone much better.
Yeah.
Still waiting on the 74 to get
you can see
off
the
pit
oil
road
underneath that truck, and
that's why the pits are still closed.
Jordan did a nice job in that 74 truck, got it qualified in and was running respectively. And
let's take a look at, we mentioned William Byron last year making his debut here at Phoenix, and this is what happened there in the 9 truck.
just had a nice run up on the outside of the 33 of Brandon Jones, and Brandon came up. Just one of those racing deals. I think
I'm not sure Brandon knew he was there or realized he was there. You see the contact, and then when Brandon came down, hit Cole Custer, that turned him into the 9 of William.
You know, in these days of racing, Phil, we saw it last week in Texas with a couple of trucks racing off the last turn. The spotters have so much to do with the decisions these drivers make. You can see with the head brace there inside of that truck, they can't see a whole lot about what's going on. They rely heavily on the spotters, and when it's that close going down the back straightaway, up comes Jones, and into the side of him goes William Byron.
And Michael, remember where the spotters are located here at this racetrack. That's way over in turn 1, so that entering turn 3 over there was as far away from the spotters as you can possibly be.
That's a geographical oddity. I mean, you can't hardly count on the fact that that spotter can clear you, but that's what these drivers do, and every now and then there's a mistake made.
Well, Matt Crafton currently sits 7th, talking about what they're going to try to get done during this pit stop coming up.
The brakes and turn left, and then I immediately turn right, and it just over-rotates so bad. Be fine right here. We'll get you some wedge. Everybody used their new tires up on that run, so we know what we got the rest of the night. We'll drive by them.
Oh, how about that? A little strategy. Thinks maybe they're going to have better tires the rest of the way.
Certainly seemed confident, that's for sure. Crafton.
I love that in Junior Joyner, don't you? He and Matt Crafton are always on the exact same page. They complete each other's sentences.
Crafton currently 2 points to the good for that 4th and final spot.
But I'm telling you, right behind him is Timothy Peters, and Timothy was making some ground on Crafton. It looked like Crafton was fading a bit. Peters began to track him down.
I was talking to Duke Thorson, the owner of Thorsport, down in the garage, down in one of the haulers, actually Matt's hauler. Matt came in. Matt didn't seem to be nervous at all. He was joking, and Duke was giving him a hard time, and Matt was giving Duke a hard time. So looked like he was pretty cool.
Matt told me that Duke said, y'all need to run that truck. It's a good truck. I like it. It did good at Dover. They won. It was running fast at Bristol. They said they had faster truck.
It's so old. The truck is so old, they said.
Oh, it's not always bad, right, Phil?
That's absolutely.
They said they had more.
It keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
They're going to come to pit road this time. Like you said, Phil, no mistakes. Must be solid on pit road.
Boy, a mistake on pit road, a speeding violation. Timothy Peters had one of those last week. Cannot afford to make a mistake and lose your track position. You're one of those chasers hoping to earn a spot to Homestead next week. Hermes waiting on Daniel Suarez.
Vince, the 51 was fading. The reason why the truck would not turn. They'll take a big swing at it. 4 tires, wedge, and air pressure adjustment. The 4 of Christopher Bell, his truck's a little bit too free. 4 tires and fuel. They will lower the track bar 1 round on the right side for the 4. Caitlin.
Well, Johnny Sauter, a team with a lot of momentum on his side. He says he has no rear side bite, but I found something at the end that really started working. They're going to do 4 tires and fuel, no adjustments for the 21. For William Byron, the race leader, he said, my truck is really good. It just gets a little bit free in traffic. They're also going to do 4 tires, fuel, and a track bar adjustment for the race leader.
A little bit of a slow stop there by Sauter.
Looks like 2 tires maybe for the 29 of Reddick.
Back to racing when we return to Phoenix. Johnny Sauter wins at Texas.
On the line here tonight. All the glory that comes with a win in NASCAR, but more importantly for 3 drivers, those precious points towards the championship.
Drivers, start your engine.
Side by side as they go through 3 and 4.
They're together. They're together.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series at Phoenix International Raceway. Almost halfway. Chase race number 6. It's the final race in round 2 of the chase. Who are going to be the 4 drivers that are going to earn a spot and an opportunity to run for the championship next week at Homestead.
You think it's close for the 4th and final spot? How about the difference being 0? Wow. Remember, they have a tiebreaker situation, and Matt Crafton would control the tiebreaker because of that 2nd place finish last week in Texas.
And the running right next to one another, 8th and 9th.
And they've been that way most all night, Vince, right in contact with one another, and they know how important those spots are.
Johnny Sauter with such a good fast truck had a 17-second pit stop. He will restart this race back in the 7th spot.
William Byron's got to be cognizant of that 29 truck on the bottom. He's got older tires. Will he be able to stick and not run into Byron when they hit turn 1?
Tyler Reddick on the inside, Byron outside, back green at Phoenix. Byron quickly around the top side. Wants that lead back.
See Reddick all the way down on the apron of the racetrack. Not going to be enough. William Byron is going to grab that lead back. Wasted no time.
Well, and he really ran around the high side of the racetrack, Bill. We've talked about these trucks having to be right on the bottom. Byron got it done a lane up. That's a good sign for guys that are trying to make moves back in the pack.
There's Crafton in that bright yellow 88, battling Timothy Peters in the 17, not just for a spot on the track, but also for a spot in the championship next week.
Racing for their lives right now is what these guys are doing.
See, they're surrounded by some really good trucks. Matt Tift on the bottom, the 19 truck up ahead of Daniel Hemrick. He just got 2 tires, gained some track position. So some aggressive strategy calls by the Brad Keselowski team to grab some track position.
Remember, Junior Joyner said we're going to be better. We're going to drive right by these guys. Not able to do it yet with Timothy Peters.
Peters holds on to 8th. Cole Custer in the 00. Matt Tift in the 11. Now on board with the 33 of Ben Kennedy, who's worked his way up to 13th.
Yeah, nice bounce back for Ben Kennedy after an early pit stop.
Halfway at Phoenix, the final race in round 2 of the chase. The championship will be decided next week at Homestead. Who are going to be the 4 that are going to go for it?
Rico Abreu off the road trying to get by Kaz Grala. Rico all the way off the track. Can he hold it off Grala?
Boy, some hard racing right here. Ben Rhodes, the 41 truck, right behind this.
Oh, they're going to make contact.
Oh, they do. It's Abreu and Grala. Grala into the wall.
Yeah, that didn't shape up well from the beginning. When they got down in turn 3 and 4, rubbed closely together, and then no room when they got to 1.
They were back there battling for 14th.
Hard contact for Kaz.
Back it up. Good job out there, man.
Unfortunate for Kaz Grala in his final race of the season
Sorry
in
about
that
that,
24. 17-year-old from Massachusetts. He's done such a nice job in his opportunities this season at GMS.
Sure has. You have to give each other a little bit of room out there. These trucks don't handle quite as well when you have somebody stuck to the side of you.
And you can see Rico looked like tried to just maybe side draft a bit of that 24 truck down the front straightaway, and then they tried to grab the same piece of real estate when they drove into one. Not enough room. Rico was able to keep his truck off the wall. See what I talk about here. There's a bit of a move to side draft right there, and then breaks away from him. But Gralla just dove for the corner, and there wasn't room there. Oh, what a great job by Gregson there in the 18, just barely slipping underside on the bottom side of Gralla.
And Gregson gets the free pass as we are under caution for the 6th time tonight.
Yeah, it looks like Kaz maybe was going to crowd Rico a little bit, get down in the corner and make contact. Austin Cindric has been behind every incident we've had on the racetrack, it seems like. Here he is yet again.
Oh, man, that's a wild shot, and Cindric's able to sneak by on the bottom.
Rico made a little bit of contact with the inside safer barrier. Kaz along for the ride right there. He turns the steering wheel left and nothing happens. He gets up in the loose marbles.
Well, thank goodness for the safer barrier there. That was another strong hit.
Yeah, very close to where his teammate Spencer Gallagher made contact.
Just past the halfway mark at Phoenix. William Byron, the leader. Back in Phoenix, just past the halfway mark. The final race of round 2 of the chase. One more race remains. That's next Friday night at Homestead. The top 4 will have a shot at the championship, and right now Timothy Peters and Matt Crafton are in a deadlock tie for that 4th and final spot. Let's check in with the crew chiefs, beginning with Caitlin.
And that crew chief would be Junior Joyner for Matt Crafton. We're past halfway. How's the truck, and also any pressure starting to set in here?
No pressure. I think our Menards Tundra's all right. You know, we just disappointing qualifying run, I think, kind of put us in a bad spot to start, but we put 4 Goodyear Eagles on it that had newer date codes, and that's kind of what I've been waiting for all weekend. So I feel good about the spot we're in. A little bit free in that first run, but I think we'll be all right here.
Good luck to you. Matt Crafton still looking for his first Phoenix win. Hermie?
Well, Shane saw Junior Joyner wants to know what's he saying about their truck, but really, you guys are racing for your championship life right now. What has your truck been doing tonight? What kind of adjustments did you make on pit road?
It was a little tight the first run, but the Red Horse Tundra is a little bit free in the center right now, which is probably going to play in our favor here. You know, Junior and those guys, we've been running, you know, nose to tail all night already, so it's going to come down to the end of it here. And either way it goes, you know, I'm proud of our Red Horse guys, and everybody's worked real hard, and I know Timothy's going to give us everything he's got, so that's all we can ask for.
These guys setting up for a battle to the finish tonight, Vince.
Boy, you can't ask for anything more exciting than dead even going to the final 65 laps or so.
One thing I want to explain is what Junior Joyner was talking about. These tires have a born-on date, and a lot of times NASCAR will issue different tires that have different dates. They will give the equal amount of new tires, newer tires versus older tires to each team. Junior Joyner was talking about those guys having their newer tires on that first run. Probably they used them to qualifying. He put his older date code tires on. He felt like now he's got all new date code tires where the other guys still have a set of old date code tires. So he feels like he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of performance in those newer tires is what Junior's counting on. We'll see if that's the case.
Certainly hope so, right?
Yeah.
A full slate of college football tomorrow. First at 16th ranked West Virginia and Texas meeting at noon Eastern. Then Texas Tech takes on 13th ranked Oklahoma State. Later on Fox, USC battles 4th ranked Washington at 7 Eastern. The action returns to FS1 for 12th ranked Colorado against Arizona, 10 o'clock Eastern. Also see it live on Fox Sports Go.
That's a solid Saturday of college football, huh?
Yeah, Washington in the playoff picture right now for college football.
A lot of good TV time. It's been a great day here at Phoenix. Sprint Cup qualifying earlier today, and Arizona native Alex Bowman captured the pole position for Sunday's race. And did Dale Earnhardt Jr. look like a proud papa, didn't he? Down there with Alex Bowman today.
Essentially, I think he was handpicked by Dale Jr. to take his place while he recovers from his concussion, and obviously Rick Hendrick had to sign off on that, but I think Dale had a lot to do with that decision.
Yeah, it was great to see how happy Dale was, and great to see Alex. Certainly a big accomplishment for him, his first career pole.
How about William Byron? He was stuck on the outside for that last restart. It went so well. I talked about how he made great time up in that high groove. He chose it this time. He knows that the 29 on the inside of him, Reddick, has older tires. This just might be a good test session again for him to see what kind of start he can get out there in case he gets put in that position later.
And remember, he's the control truck right now, so I think we're going to see a marked difference when he takes off here and he can drive it down hard into turn 1.
Alan Reddick, remember, took 2 tires on that stop, so Byron definitely with the fresher rubber as we get ready for this restart. Reddick on the inside, Byron outside, back green at Phoenix.
And William clears them easily by the time they get to turn 1.
Yeah, those older tires versus the fastest truck in Arizona, not much of a match.
Reddick trying to hold on to second, but getting pressure from Suarez, and then Christopher Bell back there lurking as well.
If Reddick could have seen how hard Suarez was racing his teammate, he might not be blocking Daniel. Daniel's on a mission tonight.
Hard racing. Cameron Haley trying to get to the inside. Here goes Suarez in a battle for second.
Taking a peek, but not making the move. Reddick able to hold him off for now.
Good momentum on the outside for Reddick. That was a great turn, but I think it's just a matter of time.
I think these 4 tires for Suarez are going to prevail in this battle.
Suarez takes over second, and Christopher Bell has his eye on third. He'll be the next to challenge Reddick.
Ooh, look how close that Cameron Haley got to Timothy Peters, side drafting down there on the front straightaway.
His 13 truck's been solid all night. Now he's trying to make the move on Peters and bring Matt Crafton along behind.
Timothy Peters right now is 1 point ahead of Crafton as they run because he's ahead of Haley. If he loses that spot, they'll be dead even again.
So tight. But Peters holds on to the spot. Now Crafton will try to get around his teammate, Cameron Haley.
Good corner for Haley that time.
Christopher Bell making the move on Reddick for third.
I think Reddick's done a pretty good job with those 2 tires thus far.
He certainly has. Not even a factor for a top 10 running position before, but now he's got it worked out and is hanging tough.
And remember how good these trucks are that have gotten by him. Byron, Suarez, Christopher Bell trying to make the pass as well as Johnny Sauter.
Look at Bell all the way off the road trying to cut the corner and grab that spot away. Oh, so close.
Can he make it stick? Reddick's not giving up easily, but Bell is going to get it. KBM running 1, 2, 3. William Byron, Daniel Suarez, Christopher Bell. And the battle continues between Cameron Haley and Timothy Peters for 6th.
Look at Haley working that steering wheel, trying to keep that 13 truck off the side of Timothy Peters, side drafting, now down to turn 3.
Remember, Cameron Haley may not be part of this chase right now, but he still wants a good finish. He still wants to get up there, thinks he can get up there and get him a win.
Haley slips, and look, here comes Crafton to the inside.
Crafton right now on the outside looking in the chase standings. 1 point below the cut line, and that driver of the 17 truck is the one he's chasing.
Well, right now is the situation for Matt Crafton is, boy, would I love for my teammate to give me a break, because he was dead up beside him, and Cameron Haley fought back on the outside.
I haven't seen any evidence of teammates giving each other breaks tonight.
Any of them, any teammates.
By the way, we had that caution earlier because of the accident involving Kaz Grala, and Grala has been checked and released from the medical center. Peters continues now trying to work on Tyler Reddick for 5th.
Matt Crafton's watching this too, Vince. He can see Peters making progress up ahead. He needs to get around Cameron Haley and continue to keep the heat on Peters.
We have an interesting situation right now. We restarted this race on lap 85. You see our caution clock, 16 minutes. It's going to be very close as to whether the caution clock will run out before we get to 20 laps to go, which is when they turn it off. If not, these guys have enough fuel to go the rest of the way. If the caution clock comes on, then they have a decision to make. Do they want to come to pit road? I can't imagine that they'll get 4 tires if they come to pit road, Michael. They won't want to take enough time to do that.
Well, and also all the crew chiefs and spotters have noted what Reddick's been able to do. He's hung in there nicely with those 2 tires, and that means they see that, and maybe they will take a chance on 2 tires to grab some more track position if they come to pit road at all.
Reddick running one of his final races for Brad Keselowski Racing, a winner earlier this season, but announced this week that he would be leaving the team, and Brad Keselowski Racing will have 2 new drivers next season as both Reddick and Hemrick move on. Austin Cindric will be one of those full-time in the BKR truck.
You see that 13 truck of Cameron Haley. That's a teammate, a ThorSport teammate to Matt Crafton. Right now, that 13 truck is what separates Matt Crafton from a spot in the finale at Homestead racing for a championship. He's 1 point behind Timothy Peters right now.
And if Peters and Crafton tied, Crafton would get the tiebreaker on the fact that he was second place last week.
Exactly.
But I think this 88 truck, Phil, you know how poised and how consistent and just confident that Matt Crafton is. I think he's just sizing up the 13. As long as he can keep that 17 right there off his nose, I think Crafton's confident with what he's got right now.
And I think if we see the 17 get by Reddick in the 29, then that may ramp up the interest a little bit for Matt Crafton to get by his teammate.
What a great battle here. Great job by Tyler Reddick hanging on to a top 5 running position with a truck that, quite frankly, was off the pace all day long today.
And I'm surprised with those 2 tires that they've held up as well as they have. Thought when he took 2, maybe it would be, certainly was no match for William Byron, but the way he's held off here in this 5th position, impressive.
Remember, his teammate Daniel Hemrick did the exact same strategy, and he's fallen all the way down to the 17th position.
Peters continues to pursue Reddick, and Crafton continues to lurk behind his teammate Cameron Haley. Caution is out for debris on the front stretch.
That'll be it for the caution clock.
Yep.
We won't see it come into play. NASCAR will clean up the debris there you see on the front stretch. And these teams will be faced with a decision, Phil. What do we do?
I think with 50 to go, I think we come in and get right side tires. We've got 30 laps on our tires that we just put on there. I cannot imagine that they'll take the time to put 4 tires on. Now, I think Reddick might be in a situation where he might have to put 4 tires on, because remember, he only put right sides on.
But what if you have a dominant truck like William Byron? Do you take the time to put on 4 tires? It's been so fast and so good, thinking that you can race your way back through the field, or do you want to keep that track position to hopefully take your chance of having troubles away more?
Remember, Williams only fallen back to the 2nd spot, so he's been up in the top 2 positions this entire race. If you take 4 tires and you've got 4 or 5 of your competitors, they get out in front of you and you have to restart back in 6th and 7th. We've seen how wild these restarts have been, 2 wide, 3 wide racing. I think if I'm Rudy Fugle, I want to keep that track position. I'm going to go with 2 right sides.
Well, we talked about strategy would be a part of this race tonight, and we're getting ready to see what these teams decide to do. Was that Fugle saying stay out?
I think he said stay out. That's exactly right.
If I'm behind him, Daniel Suarez, Christopher Bell, I come, man. Let's do something different than the leader.
How about Timothy Peters, Matt Crafton? They're both going to stay on the racetrack as well. Ben Rose, the first truck to come in.
The leaders stay out. 50 to go at Phoenix. Picking up a little bit more debris there on the backstretch. Get the track cleaned up, ready for a restart. Well, all those front runners decided they were going to stay out, did not come to pit road, and maybe now we start thinking about fuel mileage a little bit, huh, Hermie?
The 4 of Christopher Bell right now, according to crew chief Jerry Baxter, is about 1 lap short, but that was prior to us running an extra lap of caution right here. So the 4 truck, based on what they can figure is right on the money, maybe a half a lap short. Jerry Baxter made a good point. The beginning part of the race, very difficult to compute the fuel mileage because of the number of caution laps and restarts that they had. But right now, Baxter thinks they're about a half a lap short.
Well, we got a little bit more good news, Herm. We're going to run one more lap under caution before we get one to go, so a couple more. And these teams, if you needed another factor to worry about, now they have fuel mileage to take into consideration.
Yeah, they pitted on lap number 68. That left us 82 laps to the scheduled distance of 150. We talk about the pit window being somewhere around 80 to 85 laps. We've had a number of caution laps since that pit stop, but not everyone gets as good a fuel mileage as some of the other people.
William Byron has had the dominant truck tonight. He's led 78 laps. He's in the lead right now. Are you surprised that more teams didn't come down pit road and just try something different? I mean, what do you have to lose?
That's what I say. If you're Ben Kennedy,
if you're the chasers, I understand, but if you're not,
well, even Ben Kennedy, he's outside looking in. He could have done something different. Especially I thought Cameron Haley, a guy that's got a fast truck, if he mixes up the strategy, maybe he makes it work. I was surprised, Vince.
I think all these guys have made the decision now. They're going to run this thing to the end. They're not going to come to pit road. Some of these guys towards the tail end of the league that may come later if we get another caution, but I think our front running trucks right now have made their bed.
The 17 and the 88 are battling for the last remaining spot to get to Homestead with a shot for the championship, and the 13 of Cameron Haley is between the two of them. Here's Haley's radio.
Need to tell Peters if he keeps running me that tight, one of these times I'm bound to get into him and things are going to get big. Get him, bud. Get him.
I'm sure that Matt Crafton's team would like that, right? Because the 13 and the 88 are teammates, Haley and Crafton. And Timothy Peters is not.
Well, emotions run high in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. These guys are running inches apart. We've seen mistakes made, and these guys are going to be aggressive all the way to the checker.
Then you have to remember Cameron Haley feels like he deserves to be racing for a championship. Didn't happen this year. He comes back next year, maybe he will, but he knows that he's as good as these guys. He knows that he has a great race truck right here.
Kyle Busch Motorsports with 3 of the top 4 as we get ready for the restart. With Byron and Suarez on the front row, Christopher Bell in row 2. Johnny Sauter is on the outside of row 2, and he's won the last 2 races.
I like where Sauter is because we've seen William Byron get some great starts up on the high side. Got a faster truck in there, though. Daniel Suarez has been strong on the bottom.
Back green at Phoenix.
Wow. I think Daniel's just figured out how to drive. William has figured out how to drive so hard into that corner. Nobody's going to stay with him.
Check him out off the road. What an aggressive move. Whoa, and that's chaser Christopher Bell that Reddick tried to get inside of.
Johnny Sauter trying to get around the outside.
Oh, contact. Reddick got into the side of Timothy Peters.
Now Crafton gets by Reddick, and Christopher Bell is right there too, as Haley has lost a few positions.
And Crafton now is chasing Timothy Peters. That puts them again into a dead tie, which gives the nod to Crafton.
Oh.
Crafton has the tiebreaker advantage, so as long as they're even in points, Crafton's going to be the one that has the edge. Caution is out. Down in turn 4, it's the 2 of Austin Cindric.
No contact. Last 5 cards.
Cindric has had an eventful evening since they threw the green flag on lap 1.
He's been behind every incident that's happened on the racetrack.
Way too loose. Firing off on those restarts. Can't hang.
Wicked loose is the report
on the restarts. Now this is another opportunity for some of these drivers to say, hey, let's make something happen here. Maybe Ben Kennedy, last pitted on lap number 68 with everybody else. He's back in the 12th spot right now.
You can see just sideways down on the bottom of the racetrack, and
watch the job. Ben Rhodes gets on the brakes, and he's going to be able to drive down the outside. Nice job by Ben Rhodes to miss that spinning number 2 truck.
And Phil, just remember, Ben Rhodes had that decision to make at 130 or 40 miles an hour, how he's going to avoid the spinning 2 truck. He decides to hang high and makes it through.
Let's take a ride with Austin Cindric.
Whoa. Boy, Noah Gregson narrowly avoided disaster there.
Hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake. Hold the brake. All right.
That's great advice by the spotter.
Just hold the brake.
A stationary truck's easier to miss than a rolling one, and he held the brake. That flat spot of the tires, he's going to get some new ones, and try again. Man, that was so close off turn 4 with Reddick. Watch him, he's just sideways on the inside of Timothy Peters. Could have taken out one of our chasers right there.
Well, and Christopher Bell was right behind him.
Oh, and Bell almost into the outside wall.
Bell lost a few positions in this exchange as well.
Under you, you're clear. No pressure, clear.
Yeah, put Christopher Bell back into that crazy battle for the last playoff spot.
Michael, he's only 1 point to the good right now.
And Matt Crafton and Timothy Peters are tied.
How about that? 3 drivers within 1 point.
That is amazing. And don't think it can't come down to a tie, too. We saw that with Denny Hamlin and Austin Dillon at Talladega, and Denny got 3rd spot by about, what, a foot or something like that, and that was enough to put him in a tie, and he won the tiebreaker.
And now look at Matt Crafton up in the 5th position. His highest running order. Timothy Peters up to 4th, the best he's been all night. These restarts have been crazy. I like where Peters is in 4th. I think Byron gets a good jump. We've seen it all night long. Maybe Peters can take advantage of that.
And look at Christopher Bell. He probably hasn't been any lower than about 4th this entire race till that restart. He restarted 4th. Now he's back to 7th.
And what about his heart rate right now? He knows how important every position is.
We've seen a lot of issues tonight. 8 cautions, but the chasers, it's been event-free for them so far. When they come to the green here on this restart, there will be 40 to go.
Boy, don't jinx it, Vince. I didn't like the way
It's
that
not my fault.
sounded.
Don't blame me.
I didn't like the way that sounded there.
I'm not
so
doing,
far.
I'm not doing well over here. This is making me nervous.
Pace car is off. Suarez on the inside. His teammate William Byron outside. Back green.
Watch William driving hard down in this corner. Look at him. 2 truck lengths harder than anybody else.
Oh, Sauter had a big wiggle and had to check up, and Matt Crafton's going to get inside of him.
And look at Timothy Peters. He takes advantage of that wiggle. He's up to 3rd. And look at Christopher Bell off the road to the inside.
He's going to get loose down there. He's going to get loose. He got loose. Had to chase it up the hill. He's losing a spot to Haley in the middle.
Now he's 3 wide. He's got to calm down. There's still plenty of laps.
Wow. Christopher Bell had to save it. Now here comes Matt Crafton challenging Johnny Sauter.
Johnny Sauter really took an aggressive line to the entry to turn 1, tried to cut Crafton off. Crafton was having none of it.
Remember, these guys were teammates for a number of years at Thorsport.
Sauter, of course, will race for the championship next week because he's won twice. But Christopher Bell, now he's 1 point out. Now he and Crafton are tied the same amount of points, but Crafton would get it on the tiebreak.
Oh, that Reddick into the wall a little bit.
Yes, it was. And Bell was able to take advantage of the slipping 29 truck and grab a spot there.
Cole Custer made a nice move. We saw those trucks losing some momentum, drove down to the apron of the racetrack, made the pass on a couple trucks.
How good is truck
Big
racing?
Kennedy.
These guys are just going for it every inch of the way. Kennedy looking to gain some spots. You can see Reddick sliding up the hill there. Ben Rhodes to the inside.
I think he's finally paying for those 2 tires only on his last pit stop. The heat cycles when we've had these caution flags. Looks like it's hurt that truck.
Ben Rhodes, a nice move around the 29 truck. See Crafton, he's all over Sauter. I think he's faster than Sauter right now, but Johnny's doing a great job of holding him off.
Cameron Haley and John Hunter Nemechek running side by side for 6th.
And how about Timothy Peters up in the 3rd spot right now in front of this battle?
You saw Peters struggle all day, but after qualifying, he had a bounce in his step. He said, that was a good run for us. I think we're where we need to be for tonight. Whoa.
Cameron Haley, John Hunter Nemechek make a little contact. Looked like John Hunter might have got it in the outside wall just a little bit.
Yeah.
Smoke from the left rear tire. Is it left rear or the right rear, Michael?
I'm going to guess left rear. Those 2 trucks made a little bit of contact as they exited turn 4.
And right behind them is Christopher Bell, who right now is on the outside looking in. He needs a position.
He's going to need more than that, Vince. There's so many more things that are going to happen before this race is over. If he grabs a spot, who's to say that Matt Crafton won't go up and grab a spot? You got to get every position you can.
Hermie, update us on that 4 of Christopher Bell.
The restarts have been the problem for Christopher Bell. He's got a top 3-4 truck, but after the last restart, he asked his spotter and crew chief, what can I do better on the next restart? Well, the next one was not much better. Right now, in the 8th position, they have told him he needs to try some way, somehow, to get back to the top 5.
Well, and meanwhile, you've got 4 chasers in the top 5 with William Byron and Timothy Peters, Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton. Bell has got to get up there and make something happen.
You know, so many times, Hermie, Hermie Sadler was talking about the restarts. Those are circumstantial. You get in the wrong lane, a guy doesn't get a good shift, you lose a spot or 2. And for Christopher Bell, it's important for his team to keep him motivated, keep him positive, say, you can do this, buddy. We have to do this. We're going to be a part of the playoffs.
We have over 30 laps left. We got a couple trucks that you're better than right in front of you. Take your time, pick your spot, and get those trucks.
William Byron comfortably in front, but everything behind him. Oh man, it's been a frenzy. William Byron has been in front for 100 laps. Can he hang on with 25 more to go? He's seemingly been untouchable with the speed that he has had in that truck tonight, but we've seen some crazy things happen. A lot of contact around the racetrack. Christopher Bell, Byron's teammate, went from being in the Chase Championship next week to now he's on the outside looking in. Here was the radio communication with that team.
All right, seatbelt. Before you just stand up in the seat right here, we need these 2 spots right here. Keep kicking. We have the tiebreaker on the 88. You got a fourth at Martinsville. What's he got? He's got second at Texas, right?
So there they're talking about the fact that they don't have the tiebreaker over Matt Crafton. So Crafton, even though he and Bell have the same amount of points, Crafton has the tiebreaker because he had a 2nd place finish in this round.
And remember, that's his teammate right in front of Christopher Bell. He's not going to want to give that spot up. If Christopher Bell was able to drive by that 13 of Cameron Haley, that would put him 1 point ahead of the 88.
And it looked like for a while Bell was gaining ground back on the 13 of Haley, but the last couple of laps, Haley's been able to run faster lap times. The team said, the spotter said, we got to get you to stand up in the seat and go get us a spot or 2. And they're asking everything they can get out of Christopher Bell right now.
The way it stands right now, we would have 4 different drivers, trucks, and teams from 4 different organizations transferring in to the finale at Homestead.
You don't think this NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is competitive? These teams bring amazing trucks and amazing drivers to the racetrack every weekend.
And that's one young man that's done an amazing job all season long. 6 wins in his rookie season, the most ever in the 3 top series of NASCAR by a rookie.
Camping World 20 to go at Phoenix. Here's the radio from William Byron's team.
What gauge is flashing? Is that oil temp? Water temp. Step 4, bolts are okay? Bolts are plenty good. Step 4, just feed it on in-car, so you're good. Keep digging. All good, or do we need to try swiping a lapper here to get some debris off? I don't see anything. We're fine. We're fine. It'll run.
Yeah, there's 20 to go. That's 10 minutes of running, man. That's all this team wanted to see, is anything that could go wrong late in the going, and that's a real possibility. The thing overheats, it'll blow up.
See that light flashing? That's what they're talking about. That'll get your attention, won't it? Oh, William Byron.
But he pretty calm on the radio, though, as was Rudy. Said, no, it'll be fine. It'll run.
Look at this 3-wide mess. That's
Stuart
nearly
Friesen.
a crash, and here comes Snyder up on the outside.
All racing for position. Lupton, the 05, has 18th.
The 4 of Christopher Bell, and a big bump to the 07 of Mills.
It's a nice save by Mills. That 11 truck right behind Christopher Bell, that is for position as well. Christopher Bell cannot stand to lose a spot here for sure. He needs to go get a spot.
Right now, Bell is on the outside looking in.
Bell rebounded after that bump and ran a good lap that time by, but he's still off the pace a bit.
Byron dominating. But how's the chase going to shake out? A major development here at Phoenix. William Byron blowing up. He's dominated this race on his way to the championship round of the chase. And now a major problem.
About the pipe now, focus.
Just in the matter of 2 laps, Vince.
Yeah, it's starting to come out the smoke out the pipes. Just stay below the line here.
My heart's broken for that young man and that team.
6 wins this season. And I think when you talk about the garage, and if they would vote on who's the best team this season, it would be the 9. They have dominated in stretches with those 6 wins, but they are not going to the championship round with an opportunity to win the title.
Vince, you remember this? See the flashing gauge? That has every sign of an engine that is overheated and ran out of water.
Well, in William Byron, we had the radio where Byron and Rudy Fugle, the crew chief, were talking about it. They thought they were going to be able to make it to the end, but they were not. And what that does for Byron's teammate. Now, Byron is going to be out, but his teammate, Christopher Bell, is going to get in.
With the 9 being out, he's going to be out now, so we have to beat the 33.
Yeah, that really lets everybody rest a little easier right now.
What about Ben Kennedy, though? He finds himself with a chance to squeeze in there. He's only 9 points. Oh, yeah, he's pretty well out right now,
well,
but he's got to beat him.
If any one of these guys has any trouble on this restart, we've seen how crazy it's been. Remember, there are other guys than our chasers trying to win races here.
What a heartbreaking sight that is for William Byron and company.
What a dominant truck that was this evening as well. Led 113 laps.
I'm sorry.
Well, the pits are open. Byron.
Unfortunately, that smoke's not
take it to the
away.
garage.
Yeah.
We can run in. We're done.
Heartbreak.
And when Rudy Fugle says we're done, boy, those words piercing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not just we're done tonight, but their championship hopes are done as well.
Led 113 laps, was on his way to a relatively easy victory. Would have been number 7 on the year and a spot in the finale next week. Gosh.
Well, the restarts have been crazy tonight, and you would think that with a 9-point difference, Ben Kennedy isn't going to be able to get his way in. But the way these restarts have gone, you never know what might happen to one of those other contenders.
Remember now, there's no guarantee if something happens to one of these other contenders that William Byron couldn't point his way in. Right now, he's only 10 points behind. He's going to lose some more positions, though. There's 7 laps to go, and there's probably another, 6 positions he's going to lose from trucks that are still on the racetrack.
Yeah, but let me point out Kennedy 19 points, not 9 points behind the cutoff line.
Yeah, but like Phil said, guys, these restarts have been crazy. We heard Jerry Baxter telling his driver, Christopher Bell, just take it easy, brother. Let's just get a smooth restart, beat the truck of Ben Kennedy, and we're going to race for a championship.
Let's check in with Hermie.
Junior Joyner, the crew chief of Matt Crafton, just came down to the 17 pit box of Timothy Peters, spoke to Shane Huffman, his crew chief, and basically the conversation was, here's where we are, here's what we both need to do to get to the end, trying to get a good overall picture of what they both need, and basically that is take it easy and get to the finish and settle this thing at Homestead.
Dejected William Byron.
I know it's going to certainly be hard for that young man to hold his head high, but what an amazing season. What a great run he was having this evening under pressure. And just to see it all go away, go up in smoke, I know it's got to be just devastating for him right now.
18 years old. Dominant performance tonight. I think it'd have been hard. You'd be hard pressed to have not labeled him the favorite next week at Homestead to win the championship.
Yeah, we labeled him the favorite here tonight, Vince, and he certainly delivered.
Let's check in with Caitlin.
Well, William Byron has stepped out of the truck. William, any indication that your motor was going to go there?
No, we had been running hot a little bit the last run, and kind of all night, but it stayed within temp range, and just started to vibrate maybe like the lap before. Thought it was kind of the tires, didn't feel like a big deal, and then it just sputtered and had flames coming out the cowl right there. So just stinks for this team. They've worked so hard. It just, you know, it just happens, I guess. So great Liberty University Tundra. Thanks all the guys at KBM. We'll just go to Homestead and try and get a win.
Thank you. A lot to hang their hat on, those 6 wins for this team this year.
An awful lot of maturity there for the young man as well.
At 18 years old.
Well, how's it going to finish?
I wish I knew, Vince. This race has had every twist and turn that we talked about at the opening. They were going to crash early, they're going to crash often. Now it's going to be interesting to see who's able to take advantage of William Byron's misfire.
How about the front row? Johnny Sauter in that 21 trying to sweep the round with his 3rd straight victory. Never in his career has he won 3 in a row.
This thing is not over even for William Byron yet, because I'm telling you, if one of these chasers has a problem right now and gets beat by all the lead lap trucks as well as some of the lap trucks, William could find himself back in.
Sauter going for 3 in a row, and Suarez going for his first ever Truck Series victory. The green is out. Back racing at Phoenix, 4 laps to go.
And Phil, you say, how could that happen? Because of the way they raced each other all night long. Look at Timothy Peters, a little bit off the pace there into turn 1, gets a bump by John Hunter Nemechek.
He was trying to let Matt Crafton go and get in front of him, because again, these guys know what's at stake right here.
Crafton running in 3rd. That's his teammate Cameron Haley right behind him in 4th, and then Timothy Peters. Christopher Bell starting to move up as well.
He just has to stay on the racetrack. That's all he has to do. 3 to go.
Bell and John Hunter Nemechek racing hard. That's Matt Tift in the 11, came right up to the bumper of Bell.
Nemechek slips a bit up the hill. It's going to open the door for Bell.
2 laps to go.
He does not need that position, but he's going for it anyway.
Don't make a mistake here. Now Tift almost into the back end of Bell.
How do you take it easy, Phil? Somebody will run over you. He was going for the position, decided to back it down. Matt Tift about cleaned this clock.
Meanwhile, Daniel Suarez is coming to the white flag, looking for his first ever Truck Series victory. He's 1 mile away. Johnny Sauter is running 2nd. Crafton is 3rd.
There will be no overtime. We know the next flag's going to finish it.
Where's Matt going?
Taking a shortcut.
Into turn 3 for Daniel Suarez. 4 times a runner-up. For the first time tonight, he's the winner in the Truck Series.
Good job, guys. Good job, crazy up there. And all of you guys. I feel bad for the 9 truck. Definitely they deserve this win, but we take it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Daniel Suarez wins at Phoenix. Matt Crafton, Christopher Bell, and Timothy Peters will join Johnny Sauter as the championship 4 next week at Homestead.
Sometimes it just doesn't seem like there's justice, you know. For that 9 truck of William Byron not to be going to Homestead to race for a championship, but
that's what playoff NASCAR is all about, Phil. You got to be on your game in the playoffs. Every team member, every part of the truck has to click perfectly in order to be a part of the championship battle that we're going to have next week in Miami.
Suarez burning them down, celebrating his first NASCAR Camping World Truck Series win.
Been a pretty good year for Daniel Suarez.
Suarez celebrating tonight the championship 4. Take a deep breath. They're going to race for the championship next week at Homestead. Daniel Suarez celebrating his first NASCAR Craftsman NASCAR Camping World Truck Series victory. Kyle Busch Motorsports does it again. 5 of the last 6 here at Phoenix have gone to KBM.
You knocked it out of the park.
Matt Crafton finished 3rd. He's with Caitlin.
Well, Matt Crafton has made his way to the Final 4. How do you think your past experience running for a championship in the Truck Series will help you, especially at a track that you've run well at, Homestead?
Oh, it should be good. I don't have any pressure. I mean, to be honest, I've won a couple of them, and it feels good. Just go there knowing we have a shot at it. At the end of the day, I mean, we had a little shot last year, and we came here and we threw a Hail Mary and came up a little short and got in a wreck there at the end. But we know it's straight up right now. Whoever wins, and we're taking off the gloves. I promise you that.
Thanks. Good luck to you.
He'll have a shot at winning his 3rd championship. Hermie Sadler is in victory lane with Daniel Suarez.
Well, Vince, he gets his first career victory, and he does it at Phoenix International Raceway. Get some congratulations from his crew chief as well. Daniel, after 4 second-place finishes in this series, you get your first career victory and help Toyota clinch the Manufacturers Championship for this season, the 9th one for Toyota. Congratulations.
Well, I guess it was about time to get a little better luck. We had a lot of second place finishes, and all this team, KBM, they work very hard. And what a better way to clinch the Toyota Manufacturing Championship with this victory. I'm very proud of my team, very proud of Toyota, very proud to be part of this family, and very proud to be here talking with you right now.
You guys worked on this truck pretty much all night long. At what point in the second half of the race did you think you could have a truck to contend? And did you have any idea that the 9 of William Byron was having some mechanical issues?
I didn't have any idea about the 9. Actually, I feel very bad for Byron, because definitely he had the best truck out there. He was doing an amazing job. He was running a perfect race, and you know, just things like this happen. Things like this, like that happen in racing, I guess. But I feel bad for him. But I'm glad that at the end of the day we were able to get the win for KBM, for Toyota, and for everyone that helps this program to be here right now. Aris and everyone that helped me.
Happy victory lane tonight for Daniel Suarez, Vince.
Congratulations to Suarez as you look at our playoff bracket. How they've gotten to this point. Sauter, Crafton, Bell, and Peters all with a shot at the championship next week at Homestead. Back with a post-race show after this. Daniel Suarez parked it. He's in victory lane. Welcome to the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series post-race show. We know our 4 that will race for the championship next week at Homestead. We knew Johnny Sauter was in. He'd won the first 2 races of this round, but how about Crafton, Bell, and Peters? How much was Christopher Bell sweating it in the late stages?
Gosh, till that caution flag came out, he was on the outside looking in.
And how can you say Timothy Peters and Matt Crafton weren't sweating it? Those 3, one of them just knew they were out, and now all 3 of them in after the unfortunate incident with William Byron.
At one time with William leading, those 3 drivers were tied for the final 2 playoff spots.
Peters finishes 5th tonight. He's with Caitlin.
That's right, and Timothy Peters going on to the final round in Homestead. Big smile on his face. How stressful was this race tonight, and also how much was your crew chief Shane Huffman letting you know where the other guys were running?
It wasn't too bad, you know, a little stressful. I would be lying if I said it wasn't, but Shane was telling me that I needed to keep the 21 behind me when the 9 was still leading and Matt was behind the 21. I guess he was 5th, we were 3rd, but we made a big swing at it to free it up. The first run was too tight, and the second run we started off too free, but it could help us there towards the end, but we just kept losing the balance, kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So definitely a better than a 5th place truck for sure, but you know, I'm not complaining. I hate to see what happened to William. You know, thank the good Lord for being with us all year long, being with us tonight, paving the way, and you know, we're going to race for a championship in Homestead. So it's pretty exciting for the way that our day started, for sure. Everybody worked hard here on our Red Horse Tundra, Shane, and everyone. It's a new group, so for us to be going in a new format to race for a championship is pretty cool in itself. And thanks to all the men and women at Red Horse Racing. This is for you guys.
Congratulations. Best of luck to you in Homestead. Hermie?
Well, I got Johnny Sauter. No pressure tonight, but you guys were kind of laying in the weeds a little bit. It looked like after the 9 had trouble, you may have got up and made this thing interesting at the end. Just the short runs were not the forte for the 21.
Yeah, we just, you know, we were way too loose all night long with our Legion Travel Chevy, especially on the short run. On the long run, we really eat those guys up. With 9 to go, I was catching that 51 really fast. I thought, we're going to win this thing again. But it's a bummer for the 9. He's a good kid, and he deserved to race for a championship. So I'm just proud of everybody at GMS. We're consistent, and we had a really good truck tonight on long runs. We just got to get a little bit better, I guess, on these short tracks. Typically, where we're our best, we've been off a little bit, like New Hampshire and here. So just proud of everybody. Great effort, and I can't wait to get to Homestead and see what happens.
How do you, I know you look forward to this week. Everybody that races wants to have a shot to win a championship, but what do you do as a driver? How do you get involved with your team? What is the mindset heading into Homestead?
Well, I mean, somebody just asked me a little bit ago. They said, well, how do you try to get the championship? I said, well, you need to win the race. So it's, you know, you're just going to have to go down there and throw caution to the wind and race hard all night. You know, these truck races are short, and you got to be aggressive. So we'll be in Charlotte this week, hanging out at the shop, and you know, doing whatever I can, buy the guys lunch, whatever I got to do. So you know, we know what we need to do, and I think we got a really good idea where we need to be, chassis-wise, setup-wise, and all those things. So you know, we got ECR horsepower. We're in a Chevrolet. What more could you ask for?
That's Johnny Sauter. He'll be one of the favorites, obviously, heading into Homestead. Caitlin?
Well, Hermie, Ben Kennedy finished 9th tonight. His title hopes coming to a close. How would you evaluate your night and the run you made for this title?
This round was frustrating. Tonight was frustrating. At the same time, it was really neat to be a part of this chase and make it this far in the chase. You know, we made it to the last race before Homestead, so just missed it tonight and really missed all 3 races this round. We had a strong first round, so no reason to hang our head low, and we'll go to Homestead and try to run for a victory there. But proud of the Shake Up Company's team, and you know, it's been a cool experience.
Thank you, Ben.
I thought it was interesting how everyone has really commented about, you know, we heard from Timothy Peters and Johnny Sauter, and they both made the comment about William Byron and the frustration and the misfortune of Byron. I mean, those guys knew that he had the truck to beat tonight, led 113 laps, had the dominant machine, and had the engine issue, didn't win the race, isn't going to go on and have a shot at winning the Drivers' Championship next week at Homestead. But I thought it was nice for both Sauter and Timothy Peters to acknowledge that.
Yeah, it certainly was, and you got to admit that he probably had the dominant truck of the year, 6 wins, and was certainly headed for number 7 here tonight. But you know, that's what this chase format is all about. You have to run well pretty much in all 3 of the races in the round, or at least win one of those races. And unfortunately for William, it didn't happen.
So you look at Christopher Bell, he's going to go race for the Drivers' Championship, but that 9 truck can still go to Miami and win the Owners' Championship. And what a great story that would be, because of the unfortunate happenings of tonight. If they could rebound, go to Miami, get the win the Owners' Championship, and at least have that to hang their hat on, man, that would still be a major accomplishment for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
Yeah, a bit of a bittersweet night for Kyle Busch Motorsports. William Byron not getting to victory lane, not getting to the Final 4, but Daniel Suarez celebrating his first win. The final race in round 2 of the chase for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Man, was it a thriller tonight. Daniel Suarez gets the victory. Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, Timothy Peters, and Christopher Bell advance to the championship 4 next week at Homestead. Bell is with Caitlin.
Christopher Bell, also one of the drivers who will be competing for the championship next week at Homestead. As a rookie, what all was going through your mind in just a very up and down, stressful race, but you've made it?
Well, some days it's not your day, but today was definitely our day because we were really good there early on. Obviously not as good as our teammates, but we were a solid 3rd place truck, I felt like. And then I don't know, our light switch just flipped off there with 50 to go and we were in trouble. But all these guys on this number 4 team did an awesome job bringing a Tundra that needed or got done what we needed it to do. And I hate it for William because he obviously was one of the trucks that deserved to be at Homestead, but the way the format works out, it just didn't work out for them. But all of our partners at Toyota, JBL, Sirius, Hexim, DC Solar, all the guys at the Kyle Busch Motorsports shop and everyone at the Fab shop, and there's just so many guys involved with this team, and everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing Engines, all the fans, and especially the veterans. Thank you guys for allowing us to come out here and do what we love to do. But we're going to Homestead, we're going to race for a championship, and we're going to be a lot better than what we were today.
Congratulations. Christopher Bell will represent Kyle Busch Motorsports in the Final Four at Homestead next week.
Finishes 7th tonight. Suarez wins. Sauter, Crafton, Peters, and Bell of that 4.
So many great stories of guys that had strong runs today and getting the job done when they needed to get done. Ben Kennedy rallied for a top 10 finish. And look at Rico Abreu. We saw him into another truck with an accident. He was able to get tires late and rally all the way back to an 11th place finish.
Jay Reddick did the same thing. He did a 2-tire strategy early on, worked for him for a while, came in, ended up with a 12th place finish.
It's good to see Noah Gregson and Myatt Snyder, both guys making their Truck Series debut, finished in the top 20 tonight as well. But the night belonged to Daniel Suarez. He's in victory lane for the first time in his NASCAR Camping World Truck Series career. When we come back, we're going to take a look at a very special feature about Suarez and his road to NASCAR. You won't want to miss it. What an exciting night it was here tonight at PIR, and it's going to be exciting the rest of the weekend too. The NASCAR Xfinity Series racing here tomorrow night as their chase rolls on, and then of course on Sunday, NASCAR Race Day on FS1, 12:30 Eastern. The Sprint Cup Series race at 2:30 on NBC. Asin. Daniel Suarez in victory lane, celebrating the victory. His first in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Let's take a special look at his road to NASCAR, everything he went through to get here, and the sacrifices made by his family, and the reward that he's been able to present to them. He's enjoyed and such a great representative for NASCAR.
I was so thankful I was in the booth for that big win at Michigan. Dale Jr. alongside. It was so impressive to see Daniel run down Kyle Busch and make that last lap pass. What dramatic fashion he got to victory lane, and we knew it was just a matter of time before he drove into victory lane in the Truck Series. And his heart, his soul, his spirit, you could feel it in that piece. I'm so glad he's a part of our sport.
And remember, he's got a shot at a championship, and then at Xfinity Series too. He's only one of 3 full-time regulars in the Xfinity Series to go to victory lane, and he's done it twice.
Of course, he wins tonight here in the Camping World Truck Series. He's not going to race for the championship in Homestead in the trucks, maybe in the Xfinity Series, but these are the 4 that are going to go for it next week at Homestead.
And I love the parity. We have 4 different organizations represented in these 4 drivers racing for a championship.
And how dangerous will Matt Crafton be? He said, I'm going to go to Miami with just winning in mind. I'm going to go for it. It's going to be so cool to watch.
Here's our schedule for next Friday at Homestead. Practice, qualify, and race all in the same day. It's going to be a great night. Congratulations to Daniel Suarez, winner at Phoenix.